Hello everybody and welcome back to a Pop Review. I'm Alex.
I'm Sean.
And today we're going to be doing a recap of what happened at Comic-Con 2018. So I was actually there at Comic-Con. It was my first time, I know.
I was not,
Very
unfortunately.
sad. But that is the point of this video. I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about what I saw, what it was like, and then we're going to talk a lot about what trailers were dropped, what information we got that happened over the course of those few days, etc. So before we start, though, I just want to thank Sean for giving me this birthday gift of a wine glass with Ian Malcolm's face on it. I don't know if you can see that.
It's like one of our favorite characters of all time. So
yes, so we all love Jeff Goldblum. So
what? No, I think you love Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. So if you're wondering whose face is on my wine glass, that's what it is. So we're going full nerd today, guys. Cool. So I was at Comic-Con.
Yes.
First of all,
tell me all the things.
All the things. It was really hot. And so, insider tip, if you're going to cosplay, do layers. Because inside the convention center, it's really, really cold. And then outside, it was like 95 degrees. And I cosplayed as Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
Nice.
On Saturday, which was great. I'll show you guys some pictures. But I had to wear a sweater and boots and long pants. And I was dying. So, just insider tip there.
Good thing to know.
Another thing to take away from this is how incredibly massive it is. I honestly had no idea how big this event, this convention was. It's not just in the convention center. It literally spreads out several blocks into the Gaslamp district in San Diego. And there's stuff everywhere. Bars and restaurants change the name of their restaurant for Comic-Con. There was a pub that's normally called Henry's Pub that was called Jurassic Bites or something like that. It was like a Jurassic Park themed restaurant, and they changed their menus. It really is fully immersive, the experience.
Comic-Con takes over pretty much San Diego.
They take over, yes, it's incredible. And the amount of people that were there just really gives you this amazing warm feeling to know that, and what's really great is when you see someone who's, either dressed up or has merch or has a t-shirt from, that one nerdy thing that you like and you thought that it was only you that liked it. There's that moment where you're like, oh my god, yeah,
you like the thing, I like the thing,
yes.
Yeah, we like the things.
And it's so great. And people are just hey, nice man, and nice costume, and they'll fist bump, and it honestly is just the best thing. I was not emotionally prepared, or schedule-wise prepared, because there's a lot to do. We'll talk about that. I just wasn't emotionally prepared for the onslaught of other nerdy people just like me.
But I'm assuming one of the cool things is kind of like what you said, because when you go into non-convention things, there could be so many things you could be there for to do, but things like cons like that is you know exactly what they're there for. Everybody's going to San Diego for that. If you're going to San Diego for something else that weekend, you're an idiot. Why you picked that weekend to go to San Diego?
Most of our Uber drivers said that they picked this weekend because lots of money.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so there's that feel, and Comic-Con has obviously evolved. It started off as just comics,
yeah.
And now it's pretty much literally anything pop culture, anything nerdy that you can think of: movies, TV, art,
video games,
illustration, video games, really just anything you can think of. And that was great for me because, I like a lot of different little things here and there. So I was able to sort of be involved in a little bit of everything, which was cool. Let me talk about some of the things that I saw. So there was a Dragon Ball Z, an entire area that was built, which was really cool because they had these little figurines, right? Statuettes, I guess.
Yeah.
Those were very popular in the anime community. People buy these little statuettes. And they had them in these little glass cases, and there was a little description of the character, their first debut, what happened to them, what their goals were. So you sort of just did this little walkthrough through the Dragon Ball Z area, and you got to learn or recap and you know, it was just really cool. They actually had huge statues too. I think I have some footage of that. So speaking of which, there's going to be a little montage at the end of this video of some of the footage that I took. So if you actually want to see what Comic-Con was like, definitely stay to the end of the video because I got some great footage. So the Dragon Ball Z thing was really cool. There were people dressed up as Dragon Ball Z who were obviously hanging around in that area, who people are taking pictures of them. That was really cool.
So,
and
like, to touch on that, like, if you guys don't know, like, there's going to be a new Dragon Ball Z movie coming out in December called Dragon Ball Z Super Broly. So it's them rebooting the Broly character. They're putting Broly into the actual Dragon Ball Super storyline, whereas before he only really existed in the movies. He wasn't really canon, if you want to use that word.
Right.
So now he's actually going to be put in the main storyline. So the movie's going to premiere in Japan December 19th, but it's also going to be premiering in North America sometime in January. So we look forward to that, which I'm super, super excited for. They're also kind of re-releasing some of the movies in America. The original Broly movie is coming out, I believe, in September, which I already have a ticket for. And they're doing another movie in November, I believe. I can't remember which one it was, but I already have a ticket for that anyway. So that's kind of why we're seeing a lot of DBZ.
Absolutely. And, it was a great promotional job because it really was a really cool area. And it was sort of like tucked back behind the convention center a little bit. It's just huge. There's so much. I don't even know where to start. I want to say, though, that next I was able to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which does not come out for the Switch until December. So I was one of the lucky people who was there who actually got to play. I waited in line twice, so I played it twice. I took first game did not go well. Took 4th place. I'm really good at the 64 version, by the way.
Yes,
Any challengers?
Yes, she is.
But I haven't really kept up. So I took 4th. I picked Pikachu every time, obviously. And then I sort of made my way up, but I couldn't cinch the number 1 spot. And whoever won. So what they would do is you would wait in line.
Yeah.
4 players at a time, and they'll be like, okay, you 4 go over to that system. They give you 1 practice round that's timed, so you can kind of figure it out.
Yeah, get the
and then you play
control.
for real, and the winner of that match gets a little pin, like an exclusive
nice.
Comic-Con pin, a Smash Brothers pin.
That would have been nice.
It would have been nice if one of the few people that I was with had taken first, because that would have been cool to have one of those pins, but did not win.
But you got to play the game, which is
I got to
really
play
nice.
the game, and my takeaway from that was it is just insane. There are so many characters now. And in the little montage at the end of the video, there's like a big mural on the wall of all the characters, which was so cool, this illustration. So you'll see that, and that is a representation of every single character that is in the game, and there are so many characters. Also, the gameplay is just so fast and just visually intense. Like, there's these, the super moves or whatever. I can't tell you what they're actually called. Smash moves, maybe. That are sort of like a finish him kind of thing. So every character has their own signature move that will take everybody out. So it was just really intense, and I'm really excited for the game to come out, and I'm really excited that Comic-Con gave me the opportunity to play that before it actually comes out.
Pre-ordered it already. And I don't even have a Switch yet.
You might want to get on that.
I will get a Switch to play 3 or 4 games, that being one of them.
So a couple of other things, just to sort of run through really quick what I saw while I was there. There was a Purge City, which is sort of like a party city, that's like a, where you go to get kids' birthday stuff.
Yeah.
You go, Halloween, there's costumes. But it's Purge City because they're turning that into a television series, I believe. The Purge. I actually haven't seen any of them, but people say how great they are, and so I'm sure we have some fans out there.
I don't know, it just doesn't...
I don't know, I mean, if people are really into it, then I'm going to check it out. It actually sounds kind of cool, and it sounds like it went from being more serious to being a little bit more campy and a little bit more fun.
Sounds that way, yeah.
So yeah, they had this pop-up called Purge City, and the line was just too long, so I couldn't wait in the line. But that looked pretty cool. Other pop-ups, there was a Lara Croft pop-up that was sort of like an action-adventure maze type thing. And like I said, the entire area, these are in these restaurants and stores and stuff rent their space out to like, okay, here, this is going to be the Lara Croft thing. I know it's normally like a coffee shop, but now it's Lara Croft. Didn't check that out either. Like I said, there was so much stuff that it was overwhelming that I ended up not really doing anything. I walked around and I saw a lot, but I didn't really participate in a lot of things because there was so much. There was a Resident Evil maze because, you know, there's a Lara Croft movie, not movie, that already happened. Video game coming out, as well as another, they're either re-releasing a Resident Evil game or...
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
Something like that. You guys probably know. Comment below. So that was cool to walk by. They actually had the Taco Bell, the future Taco Bell from Demolition Man.
Because the 20th anniversary of Demolition Man.
Yeah, so they actually had a futuristic, like, fancy Taco Bell. The wait was an hour and a half, so we did not get to go in. But it was sort of like, I looked at the menu and it's like it's like futuristic nachos, so it's like little small pieces with, like, you know,
just like they were in the movie.
So, yeah. So that looked fun too. I saw Jason Momoa from a distance. He was doing a panel along with the rest of the cast of Aquaman in the DC area in the convention center. So that was packed. So I sort of held up my phone and I might have gotten like a little bit of footage of him. He was like wearing a nice little bun. And let me tell you,
he tends to do.
He was very attractive even from afar. But we already knew that. It was great.
He's easy to pick out from a crowd too, I would assume. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, he was at the panel, so he was sitting down, and it was so crowded, and people are yelling at you, and they're like, "Get out of the way!" Like, you know, like security, not like the con goers. The security is like, "You need to keep moving, get out of the way," which, you know, is one thing that I didn't like about it. Like, you actually can't stop anywhere and look at anything, at least in the convention area, unless you're like going to buy something, because they want to keep that path clear. And there's so many people that is so hard to do that you're just like, okay, I'm just going to look at this and just walk by and see what I can
so you
see.
Just slowly walk and then
So I mean, San Diego just really is, it's just not big enough for it. Like,
I mean, that's been
I think we just have to start having Comic-Con on the moon.
Well,
I think that's the only way.
They've been saying that for years. I mean, like, I've yet to go, so I can't personally say, but
I saw it firsthand.
The word is like, oh, that convention is not big enough. They need to start expanding. That keeps being the...
Let me tell you the story. So, if you go across from the convention center to the Gaslamp District, which is where all these like cool pop-ups are, like the Taco Bell thing, and other things, there's train tracks there. And we got trapped on the train tracks because it was bottlenecking so bad. There were so many people trying to get from one place to another that it honestly felt like LA traffic, like just standing there. And it was 95 degrees. And so that was insane. So eventually we sort of maybe broke the law a little bit. I don't know. We just didn't listen to the police officers who were trying to guide us. And we're just like, no, I'm just going to go. And so we did that. So that was pretty intense. Couple of other things that happened were there was a viral Godzilla campaign. Because we know the trailer just dropped, so we're gonna talk about that later. I'm so excited. But it was kind of cool. They had a protest. It was a faux protest in the streets with people holding up signs like "Yay Godzilla!" like "Save the Titans" or "Free the Titans." All this stuff, and there were people in like hazmat suits.
Nice.
And it's sort of like, what is going on? And then apparently they were handing out these little cards that had a website on them, and when you go to the website, it sort of is like this secret government website for tracking, you know, the different Godzilla monsters.
Nice.
So it was kind of a cool viral campaign. What was even funnier about it, though, was there were, of course, as there are at any event ever, the actual Jesus freaks there with their, you know, their signs and yelling about, you know, not going to hell and all that stuff. So what was funny was seeing those two, they were like right next to each other. So the people picketing for Godzilla are right next to the people who are actually trying to get us not to sin. So that was crazy. That was something I thought I might never see, but it was interesting. Johnny Depp shows up in character. I didn't see that, but apparently Mark Hamill was there dressed as a stormtrooper. which apparently he does a lot.
Well, a lot of subreddits sometimes do that because like there's so many good
undercover.
Yeah, exactly. You never know who's behind, like, people wear masks.
It actually could probably even be the real... Like, I saw a Gamora that looked so much like Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe.
Like, that would be too much on the nose, but then...
But no one would expect that,
exactly,
right?
and that's why, like...
Or be like, wow, you look just like... I saw Jon Snow that looked very, very Jon Snowish.
Yeah.
People were, like, losing it over that. So that was sort of just my experience walking around. A lot of people in costume, obviously. I dressed up as... I was Umbreon the first day, and then I was Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph the second day. And I forgot my costume for the third day.
That's fine.
I was going to be a Powerpuff Girl.
Which one?
Buttercup.
Nice.
I was going to be Pin-Up Buttercup.
Nice. Very nice.
Next time. So, yeah. So, anyway, aside from just the event itself, there obviously were some other things that happened over the course of those few days. So, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so so now we'll start getting to, like, some of the actual news that happened. So, but even before we get to that, like, for me, I think this Comic-Con should have been DC's coming out party. And when I say that, I mean, we knew well in advance that Marvel was not going to be at this year's Comic-Con. They really wouldn't have had anything to show, really. They're still shooting Captain Marvel, and they're not ready to show us anything from that yet. We're coming off Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp just came out. They're not really in a position to show us what's coming next after Captain Marvel and Avengers 4.
They don't really want to... You don't really want to release Phase 4.
They don't want to tip their hand yet, and it makes sense. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I think DC should have looked at this as a prime opportunity to say... To
creep in and just be like, all right.
Plant their flag and say, this is DC, this is what we're doing. And some people might say, like, well, they did do that in a sense, and I'm not going to say they didn't, but I don't think they did a good enough job. Because going in, you already knew that we were going to see stuff from Wonder Woman. And they did release that. So there was footage of her fighting guys in a mall and her running at super speed. They released that. That was to be expected because they already started shooting that. Mm-hmm. We knew there was going to be an Aquaman trailer, which we'll get to a little bit later. We knew that. So there's no surprise there. We knew that they were going to drop a Shazam trailer. We knew that. But other than that, they really didn't do anything really exciting, really like planting their flag.
Not really con-worthy. You know?
Absolutely not.
People release trailers all the time. Okay, cool. Yeah, we get it. But there really wasn't anything that was really specific. They didn't utilize that forum.
No, they did not.
In the way that they should have.
Like, especially because you already told us you were going to give us all that stuff. So I was expecting that. So you should have... What they could have done is like say, oh, the Batman that we know you're working on, here's the release date, here's the director. Mm-hmm. Is Ben Affleck going to be Batman or not? You could have told us then. Yeah. Is there going to be a Man of Steel movie, which we know you're working on? Here's a director. Here's Henry Cavill announcing it. That Birds of Prey movie that we know you're working on. Here's Margot Robbie. When's the release date? You could have done any of those things because we know you're working on it. Maybe DC, because you guys have been into the realm of just announcing, but not planting your flag on anything. This is a perfect opportunity to own Comic-Con. 3 or 4 years from now, we would look back on Comic-Con 2018 like, oh my God, that's when we got Man of Steel 2, The Batman, Birds of Prey, blah, 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 the Hall H. They destroyed Hall H because, like, the roof blew off. DC ruled it. They crushed it. But now it's just kind of like, they kind of did. Like, but... Like, that's, for me, the biggest takeaway is it's a complete missed opportunity for Warner Bros. And DC.
Yeah.
But at least we got the worlds of DC. That's what they're officially calling their universe or universes now. Yeah. So we have that. Another major story that came out was James Gunn. Disney and Marvel has fired James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Be careful what you tweet, guys.
Yeah, so I'm sure everybody knows the story, but if you haven't, apparently James Gunn several years ago put some unfavorable tweets out. Don't really want to go into them. I've read them. They are as bad as you would be fired for, especially if you release them today. That's things that you would get fired for. But for me, it's Disney acted very quickly. As soon as the news broke that this happened, they fired him immediately. Some people say they acted too quickly. There's already a petition out as we speak right now that's over 200,000 signatures trying to get Disney to rehire him. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I do agree. This was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I appreciate what's happening now in Hollywood, and I appreciate that we are, really holding people accountable for the things that they say and that they do. Because, there's room for good people in Hollywood, and there's no room for shitheads. Not anymore, at least. But I do agree. I do think that they acted too swiftly on this without actually really figuring out maybe what their options were in the situation.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. He did apologize for it. People change in 10 years, I changed in 3. I used to be a huge asshole. Now I'm only a small one. So it does happen. People learn, people grow. I also understand where Disney's coming from because, they're, more family friendly. They really have to be careful to make sure that everybody is sort of, following along with their goals of what, their entertainment should be like, which is family friendly. So I can see either way, but yeah, I do think that they should have gone through some sort of due process, as opposed to just kicking him out.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thought process on it. This is not a new story. This is an old story. So there have been, these tweets have been resurfaced before, and he's already apologized for them years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they're brought up now on this kind of witch hunt to try to get him fired from tweets that he's made recently about the current regime in the White House. So with that being said, we don't know the whole story, guys. This is, we're never going to know the exact story. Is this the reason Disney fired him, or is this the reason why they could have fired him and they're not getting along? We don't know the whole story, and we may never know the whole story. The petition is nice. I don't know if it's going to get him his job back, because I don't think this is not new to Disney. It's like they turned over a rock and all these things are just now coming out. They knew about this, so I don't think this is the only reason James Gunn got fired. I think there are other things at play. This is just me speculating. I don't know for sure. But I don't think this is the only reason he got fired. This is the reason they could justify firing him. Because if this wasn't a thing, and he just read that James Gunn got fired, you'd be like, well, why? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 was good, Volume 2 was good. They've been very successful. He already wrote a draft for Volume 3. So if this wasn't, if they didn't have a real reason, and they just fired him, the fans would be really outraged. But they have a justification now. So if there could be other things at play, we don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah, it is really interesting timing, too, that this news came out, right around Comic-Con.
Yes.
So that was an interesting choice, too. You'd think maybe that might be bad for their press. Whatever. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure if they were at Comic-Con, it wouldn't have gotten released then, because that would just put a shadow on anything that they were going to talk about.
Of course.
So if they were at Comic-Con, this probably would have came out the Monday or Tuesday or so.
Yeah, right. It still is it's still interesting to me.
But let's just say, because right now he's fired, who would you like to replace him? Because I have a name in mind.
Who directed Thor Ragnarok?
Taika Waititi, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's what you were going to say?
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Because I think, if you saw Thor Ragnarok, you can see...
He nailed that tone.
Yes, and I think that tone can easily brought into the Guardians, considering that Guardians 3, as James Gunn had said, is going to open the cosmic door a little bit wider to start venturing into that realm of the universe.
Goldblums.
Well, maybe we don't know.
Different dimensions.
So if and we're not the only ones saying that. A lot of people are saying Taika, but I think if James Gunn is not going to come back, I think Taika Waititi for me is the perfect choice. He's already done a Marvel film. He wants to do another Thor movie, which I don't think is going to happen. But it wouldn't surprise me if he got put right in there. And I think everybody, all the characters from Guardians of the Galaxy will be behind Taika, and they would just move forward. Unfortunately, I know that's not something that they want to do. They want James, but
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that Taika would be a natural choice.
I think it would be a perfect choice, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Perfect choice.
So let's talk next about the Joker movie.
All right. So this
back
is
to DC.
Yeah, so back to DC, which is like, why would you announce, like, this actually came out before Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Another reason why they kind of fumbled, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is stuff you announce at Hall H.
Yeah.
Not a press release 2 days before Comic-Con, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting a Joker movie. It's called Joker, not The Joker. Joker. It's going to be an origin story type of kind of a character study of the Joker character. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be played by Joaquin Phoenix. It's going to be directed by Todd Phillips. He directed all the Hangover movies. That's what he's famous for. So it's not going to tie into the Heath Ledger Joker. So they're going to have that Joker, the Joker, and this Joker. So
there's many Jokers.
This is separate from
It is a fan theory that, the Joker is not... And actually, yeah...
I mean, they could
not
kind
the
of...
same guy.
They could go into that realm. They could not, like... The budget for this movie is really, really low. It's about $55 million. It's going to be rated R. So it kind of gives them the freedom and the blessings to kind of do what they want, tell a smaller story. Joaquin Phoenix was actually in the running to do Doctor Strange, but one of the reasons he didn't do it because he would have to commit to doing 3 and 4 movies.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. But one of the things he did say before he got this role is that he would like to do a character study on these superhero characters because they have a lot of layers to them, a lot of complex.
Just like Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
he's a really interesting guy.
Yeah.
And a very nuanced actor, I think.
Yeah,
so and I think that's a really interesting choice, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I would have loved to actually see what he did with Doctor Strange, even though I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but it would have been a completely different movie if Joaquin was in that. So I'm really, really interested and curious and excited to see what this is going to do. And some people are like, well, we already have a Joker. Well, this is just another story. And I want it to be successful because I like these one-offs, because this is another way for the superhero genre to stay alive, because it's something different. We've never seen a real character study, especially from a villain's point of view. So I
love that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's actually got a release date. It's going to be October 4th, 2019, which is a little bit curious for DC because Wonder Woman comes out less than a month later. And I'm not sure why they would put a movie like this, which is rated R, so close to Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Maybe that will change. But, yeah, it is it's a very strange choice.
It's a very, very strange choice, and I don't understand why DC did that, but I'm still excited. As of now, Robert De Niro is in talks to play a character who is a talk show host that kind of drives the name of the whoever the Joker is before he turns into the Joker, mad. So he's going to play, if he signs on, he hasn't signed on yet. So Robert De Niro might actually be in a superhero movie, which, again, 10 years ago would have been very like, yeah, right, Robert De Niro in a superhero movie.
Everybody and their mom is in superhero movies now.
We live in a wonderful time now in terms of these movies having more credibility than they used to. So this is something that, again, should have been announced at Comic-Con at Hall H, but it didn't. But I'm so super excited for it. I can't wait for them to actually start shooting. See like the first picture of what Joaquin Phoenix is going to look like as the Joker.
That is something I want to see. Yeah,
so that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm excited. That's a really, really exciting news.
Yeah, and it's actually the 10-year anniversary of The Dark Knight.
Yes.
So I have tickets to see it. They're releasing it in IMAX.
Nice.
So I have tickets to see that in August, in about a month.
Cool.
So that'll be... that'll be a nice refresher to sort of like experience that, because I don't know if you guys remember, but just how shocking and moving Heath Ledger's Joker performance was, and just how completely out of the box it was, and unexpected, and just so awesome. So it's really going to be nice to sort of experience that again, and then see this new Joker film next year.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to. Look at all the Jokers we've had. We've had Heath Ledger's Joker. We've had Jack Nicholson's Joker. Cesar Romero's Joker from the Batman 66 show. We've had Mark Hamill's Joker from the Batman the Animated Series.
Still the best one.
Yeah, well, hey, he grew up with him. So I'm like, there's so many different versions of him and so many different takes on him.
Yeah.
All those Jokers are completely different Jokers. But they cross different mediums, but it's still the Joker at its core, but it's a different take on it. So I'm really, really excited to see exactly what Joaquin Phoenix does, because this is probably just going to be a one and done for him, which is kind of, I think, one of the reasons why he was really going to sink his teeth into it, because like he can pour all of that into that character and then just leave it behind. You don't have to do about like a sequel or anything like that. So yeah. I think this movie, if it does well, we might get more movies like it, and I think with different characters, but. And
I think, and I've said this before, I sort of have franchise burnout because they're not paying attention to the characters in a way that I feel like I want to see. And this goes for Star Wars for me. This goes for Jurassic World. A lot of the franchises that I feel are, keep trudging forward, I feel are focusing too much on, what's next, as opposed to really doing these character studies. So like you said, in terms of the one-off, that's why even like Venom, I'm interested to see Venom, even though it's not what we expected in terms of how it's going to tie into the Spider-Man universe. I just like that focus on that one thing, and then you don't have to deal with any sequels or... Yeah. I mean, maybe we will. But the initial intent is not, hey, let's just make 20... It's like Land Before Time. It's like...
You're like, you know what it is? It's making a good movie. Not having to worry about tying it into something else. Like, we got to reference this because that happened in the last movie. No.
Yeah.
You just have a good script.
Yeah.
You shoot it, you make it, and then that's it.
True.
And I think that's what Joaquin Phoenix was like. I only have to play this character once? Yeah, come on. Exactly. So I think like that's really excited. Another thing DC announced was their streaming service.
Right.
DC Universe.
So you can see all the Jokers at any time.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
For the low price of...
so basically, they announced the pricing. So it's going to cost $74.99 a year or $7.99 a month. So if you do the yearly, you will save 20%. They actually had a contest. Well, not really a contest. If you pre-ordered it before the Comic-Con weekend ended, you got entered into a raffle to win Aquaman tickets, which I already did, so they already have my money. So if I win, yay. If I don't, still doesn't matter.
You'll take me, right?
Sure, why not? Yes. So I have it on camera, so I have to.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're going to see on the DC Universe, they're going to have their own original programming. So they did release a trailer for Titans, which is their live-action Teen Titans show.
Sorry. No.
I'm interested.
It looks terrible, guys.
It looks interesting, guys.
It looks like it was made in 2002.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's not a bad thing.
But it's very WB.
I mean...
It's very or CW. It's very CW.
Hey, I watch all the CW shows, too, so I mean... That's fine by me.
But, I did watch the original Teen Titans cartoon.
Yes.
And that was my favorite show when it was on. Teen Titans Go is cute, but the original
Teen Titans Go, get out of here. But there is a rumor that they're going to bring back the original Teen Titans, so that might happen. We don't know.
I hope
Let's see how well their streaming service works. So besides not Teen Titans, Titans. There's going to be a Young Justice Season 3, which pretty much happened because the fans cried and begged and made it happen. So thank you for you guys, because that's one of my favorite shows too. I'm looking forward to that. There's also going to be a Harley Quinn show, animated show. Swamp Thing, a whole bunch of others. We're also going to be able to see all the older DC movies, like the Superman movies, the Batman movies, and they're going to also have their digital comics on there as well.
It's so weird to me to think of an entire channel of just superhero stuff. I mean, that's the era we live in now. But like just thinking about it as like, oh man, that's intense. Like there's literally going to be nothing on that channel that doesn't have a superhero in it.
Exactly.
It's all superheroes.
But I think it's going to.
All the time.
I think it's going to work because I think they're going to make it work. Because I think.
I hope so.
Because putting the comics on there, because I'm not a big comic book guy. Growing up, that just wasn't a thing that in my neighborhood you did. But
Sean can't read.
Well, I can read, but I just didn't really read comics.
Joke.
I know, but
You're like, no, I can.
I can.
You definitely can.
But
okay,
this might actually get me reading comics because I mean I'll have access to all the Batmans, and I love Batman, even though I'm wearing a Thor shirt. I love Batman, so I might actually start reading a lot of Batman comics. So because I have access to it.
Some of them are very good.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but it's just I can start flipping like, oh look, The Killing Joke, I can read that. Ooh, The Dark Knight, I can read that. I can just read anything. I can read anything I want. So they already have my money. So yay to DC Universe. They have it. So it's coming out in the fall. They haven't really released a date yet. I'm speculating it's gonna be sometime in September.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'll cancel my movie pass and then.
What's Movie Pass? That thing's dead too. I think that's gonna die too. But...
I've used it twice. I'm the worst. We all know this though. I'm so bad. They have my money. Okay, so let's just do a really quick rundown of some of the other trailers that we got over the course of Comic-Con. We're not going to talk about those trailers in this video, but we are going to do what we usually do, which is a pop review on each one individually. So be sure to navigate over to our channel and find those.
Yes.
I am personally so excited for the Godzilla trailer. So we can start with that. That was released, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yes.
I've never been more excited. I know how I always say, like, I don't care about anything anymore. Nothing excites me. And the things that do let me down, like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jurassic World. But, finally, I have something that I actually care about. So, I'm probably going to cry during that review. So, yeah, be sure to watch that if you want to see a grown woman cry. Which, if you do, you will.
May I have a little special guest with you when we shoot that one?
Yes, a special guest. So be sure to watch that review if you want to know who the special guest is.
Yeah. So
what else do we get?
WB released a new Fantastic Beasts trailer.
True.
Which one of the reasons Johnny Depp was in character because they had a Fantastic Beasts panel.
Yes.
We already talked about the Shazam came out with a trailer. So did Aquaman. They actually had an Aquaman second footage that after the trailer that they shot that they're not going to release that I heard was way better than the trailer.
Wow.
So
really,
we're probably never going to see that. We have to wait to watch the movie.
Right.
Just like how when Avengers came out at Hall H and then they showed Thanos, spoiler alert, destroying the moon. They showed that at the trailer and we didn't see that again until the movie. Yeah. So that might be the same kind of thing with the Aquaman trailer. We talked about they showed Wonder Woman footage, stuff that they've been shooting. So it wasn't really a trailer.
We found out the movie takes place in the 80s.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
1984 because Wonder Woman 84. That's the working title. I don't know if that's the official title. We'll wait to see.
Cold War. Love it.
There was they also had Venom footage that they released. So basically they already announced that the spider that is on the Venom costume is not going to be there because his origin is not tied to Spider-Man, which is going to be weird. That's one of the reasons why he's called Venom, because he's tied to Spider-Man, but whatever.
Not Venom Man.
But there's also going to be more symbiotes in the movie besides the Venom
symbiotes.
Symbiote. So they showed that footage. So I'm still very iffy on the whole Venom thing. I want to see another trailer to see if it can get me on board. I'm still going to see it, but I'm still, on the iffy side. They also showed some Bumblebee footage, which, again, they showed the Decepticons are going to be in that movie. Again, still iffy about that one. Still going to see it, but still iffy, now 100% on board. Iffy. So look out. So we're going to do a pop preview of the Fantastic Beasts trailer, Shazam, of Godzilla, Overlord, and
whatever else.
Anything else. But all those came from
so
Comic-Con.
Much. There's honestly so much. It's like my brain is exploding. Like, I came back on Sunday night from Comic-Con, and I just had to go right to bed. I was like, I can't. My brain is exploding. So anyway.
Oh yeah, and Aquaman. I don't know if I said Aquaman, but Aquaman. So those four. So look out for those reviews coming up. But now we want to kick to Alex's montage of all the things that she saw during Comic-Con, so you guys could take a look at that.
Let's go. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview of what Comic-Con is like. It's really just a small snippet of what was all there. There was just too much. It would have been like a 3-hour video. So that's just a little taste of all the cool stuff that's there. So thank you so much for joining us for this recap of Comic-Con 2018. Hopefully next year you can come with me.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That is the plan.
That's the master plan. So were any of you guys there? I'm sure a lot of you were. So be sure to let us know what your experience was like. What did you check out that I wasn't able to? Did you like Smash Brothers? Just let us know what you experienced if you were there. And if you weren't there, what are some of the things that, really intrigue you about it that make you maybe want to go next time? So,
everything
anything
like me.
else? Yeah, everything.
No, I mean, thank you guys for watching this video. And again, look for the other reviews as they come out. Just like
subscribe.
everything, yep, like she said, like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think about Comic-Con in the past, present, future, everything that got announced, anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about. Let's continue that conversation in the comments below. And until next time, I'm Sean.
I mean, I'll still be Alex till next time and after next time. But yes, I'm Alex.
Take care, guys.
Bye.